What to get, what to get, what to get. Pen pals, I've been there. Endlessly tapping and clicking through websites, Amazon, eBay, and other online shops to find the perfect gifts for friends and family. With virtually millions of options at your fingertips, how does one find a great gift? In this video series, we're taking the guesswork out of gift giving to give our best recommendations in fine writing. Each video will tackle a price point, this one being $50 and under, and split it into 3 subcategories: gifts for beginners, gifts for intermediate, and gifts for advanced pen users. Beginners are usually young and use disposable or free pens to write by hand. They show an aptitude for study, reading, and creative pursuits, but just haven't been exposed to a quality pen. Intermediates look to graduate to the next level of writing instruments by opting for higher quality, becoming more selective in their preferences. Advanced users add to their pen and ink collection throughout the entire year, purchasing new releases and limited editions they've had their eye on. It might appear like they have it all, but as we'll see later in this video, there's always room for a delightful surprise. Alright, so for beginners who are just used to mostly disposable pens, cheap pens, giveaways, loaners, we're going to introduce the idea of fountain pens. And we have a great selection of starter fountain pens that are available in a wide array of different colors to choose from that match your personality, match your style. And then we also have a lot of different nib sizes to go with. And so why are we going with fountain pens? Because fountain pens give you the most personal and probably the most expressive writing experience, the smoothest as well in certain cases. And we have such a great selection of them that I think there's something for everybody there, although we also have suggestions for ballpoints and roller balls that you'd want to take a look at as well. So just in case fountain pens aren't necessarily for you, we have a lot of different options to match the particular personality of the person that you're purchasing for. All right, so first up on our list is the Pilot Metropolitan. This is an elegant, classy design with a metal body that has really nice feel in hand. It feels and looks a lot more expensive than the actual price paid, which is something you want out of a good quality starter fountain pen. It's made in Japan, and it has the same attention of detail to the craftsmanship, the overall design and everything, as some of the pens that are just 10 times the price that are in the Pilot portfolio. So Pilot, has pens that they range from $10 to pens that range over $1,000. And with the Namiki brand, they have pens that go into the thousands of dollars. It's crazy to see how expensive some of those pens are, but they're works of art. But if you just want a nice pen to begin with, this steel nib Pilot Metropolitan is going to be fantastic for you. It includes a converter to start with. It's a Con 20 squeeze converter, so you have the ability to use bottled ink, or you also have the Pilot proprietary ink cartridge that's in here as well. So you have that option. It's just an easy plug and play ability of that cartridge there to get you going right away. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of colors in this lineup. So you have stuff that is you have colors that are classic, there's like black, silver, but then there's also a bunch of these fun colors. I picked the turquoise because turquoise is my favorite. And starting at $23.95, really can't get a better deal for an elegant, classy, nice feeling metal body pen that has got a quality pedigree like a Pilot. All right, so way back in the day, when yours truly was getting into fountain pens, this was my first serious fountain pen. This is the Lamy Safari. It's made out of sturdy ABS plastic essentially, and but that's really one of the main selling points is it's really rugged. It's very robust in terms of its ability to just handle a lot of the rough abuse that beginners would start with, especially young kids. It has a contoured grip section, so this is something unique to this particular design. It's suited for a tripod grip, so it'll actually show you what's the proper way to hold a fountain pen to get the best result as far as the writing experience is concerned. And it uses either the LT10 ink cartridge, which is a Lamy proprietary ink cartridge. It comes with a blue one. Or it also will fill up using bottled ink if you get a Lamy Z28 converter, which is not included, sadly. But that is something that we sell additionally on the website. Starting at $29.60. and a lot of different colors. In this one, this happens to be a special edition color for 2020. So they even have special editions that become sort of like a collector type of thing. So even if somebody does have a Safari, last year's Safari, they could always get this year's Safari as like their gift, which is always welcome because there's a lot of different nib sizes, a lot of different colors to add to your collection if you really love this pen. So here we have the TWSBI Eco, which is short for economical. It is a clear demonstrator that actually gives full ownership of their fountain pen to the user. What do I mean by that? Is that the design of this pen is fully detachable. So you'd be able to actually remove the piston mechanism to clean behind, because you have a clear demonstrator barrel and sometimes ink will get behind the piston seal, or it'll be kind of hard to clean in here. So you may want to disassemble for a thorough cleaning every once in a while. You may want to disassemble the piston, of which the Eco comes with a wrench and also a little bit of silicone grease there to re-grease the piston, and it has instructions on here too, so you're not completely lost with being able to disassemble this pen. So it also has a number 4 size JoWo stainless steel nib in a variety of different sizes, extra fine through a 1.1 millimeter stub, which is great because you would have a wide variety of different writing styles that this would accommodate. And you could fill this up with any type of ink that you want. There's a whole bunch of colors available in the Eco collection, so you could then match, let's say, your ink color with the pen here. Maybe go with a nice purple ink for this purple Eco. And for $30.99, extremely great bargain for a JoWo stainless steel nib pen that is also a piston filler, and at the same time you could maintenance over the long term to be able to keep it working nice and keep that barrel nice and clean. Here we have the Diplomat Magnum and the Faber-Castell grip. I mentioned both of these kind of in the same vein because they are European made. They both use international cartridges or converters. The cartridges start with the pen, so you'll have an international size ink cartridge inside the Magnum that's here, which kind of looks like this. These are some of the most ubiquitous cartridges, and by that I mean that a lot of manufacturers make the same type of cartridge, and a lot of pen manufacturers make their pens to be able to accept the international size ink cartridge or converter. So when you're starting off and you want to have a pen that, let's say, you buy cartridges for that you could use with other pens, you wouldn't have to be stuck with a particular brand's type of cartridges. You could buy them from, let's say, Diamine or various other manufacturers that put different color inks in their cartridges. So both of these, like I mentioned, German made, and they have German made nibs as well. So this is a number 4 JoWo, and the Faber-Castell uses a similar type of German iridium point nib, both available in a variety of different nib sizes, extra fine through broad, and both feature an ergonomic type design. So the Magnum has a faceted grip section, which is a little bit on the thinner side. So if you prefer thin pens that are lightweight, this is the starter pen that's more adaptable here. And then the grip, as its namesake goes, has a very ergonomic sort of, it's got a bit of a contour shape, so it does guide your fingers a little bit, but it's on the softer side, and also the material is somewhat rubberized as well, so you can feel a little bit more of that tackiness on the grip. And then also too is the barrel has got these little dots here which are raised in the plastic material. So overall, just both ergonomic type pens, and they're only starting at 20 bucks. So some of the best values that we have right here, I'm holding in my hands. All right, so those were the starter fountain pens. So if you're looking for something that still provides a fluid writing experience, but with a convenient twist action mechanism that doesn't require any bottled ink or cartridges, we have the Retro 51 Tornado Rollerball pen. And one of the reasons why we really recommend this pen, we love this brand, is that there's a theme for everybody. History buffs, aerospace enthusiasts, science, sports, animal lovers, and pizza lovers like me. This is the Retro 51 Pizza pen that is exclusive to Goldspot pens. And one of the great things also about this pen is that it uses the Parker style type refill. It does come, usually most of them are included with a capless rollerball pen refill. This one's made by Schmidt, it's in green, a few different colors available. They usually come in a black or blue ink. The rollerballs usually are in the black ink, but they also use the Parker style type ballpoint refill, which is something you could find in any office supply store, you could find in any grocery store even. They'll have the Parker ballpoint refill because it's one of the most widely used refills in ballpoint pens, coming from the Parker Jotter, which was originally made back in the 50s. So it's highly adaptable. Cartridge makes it very easy to fill, and it starts at $20 for just the regular lacquer finishes. This is also another exclusive to Goldspot, being the coffee finish, and I believe both of these are $49 on our website, but you could have the classic lacquers start at $20. So great value, lots of different options to pick from in various interests to suit the person that you're buying for. Next up, we have the world famous Fisher Space Pen's Bullet Pen. This pen has gone to space. It was actually recently, Fisher Space Pens came aboard the Dragon capsule for the SpaceX launch that made history earlier this year. So the Bullet Pen actually was featured in a Seinfeld episode back in the 90s, in the episode aptly titled The Pen. Reason why this pen is so neat is mostly due to its refill. The Fisher Space Pen refill is pressurized, and it's a special type of ink that they put in here, which is kind of like a very thick paste ink that is able to write in all sorts of different conditions. So hot, cold, upside down, underwater, and in zero gravity. That was the reason why it was engineered in the first place. This Bullet Pen is a hardy design that really operates at any condition in extremes. So this is a great pen that you could throw in your car, you could have on you at any time to be able to write with in any conditions, and it's super compact, comes in a wide variety of different colors and styles, so something for everybody there, and is engravable as well. So we do a lot of engraving here in-house, and these are one of our most popular choices to engrave because they look really sharp with somebody's name, company name, initials, special anniversary date. It's a perfect canvas to put any of your ideas as far as you'd want to personalize this to make it yours, to make it a keepsake for a great gift. And these start at only $22.95 each. Come in a nice little moonscape gift box and could be made yours when you decide to personalize it whichever way you prefer. So the most underrated and overlooked aspect of a quality writing experience, especially when it comes to fountain pens, is paper. So what we do in our store is that we offer a great quality lineup of paper that's available in a wide variety of different formats. So you have something like this, which is a reporter style. Just simply take the elastic band off and you could flip it and be able to stash that in your pocket for quick note taking. We have some things that are a little bit more longer format. So this is an A6 size web notebook that you would have a nice hard cover with that you could kind of keep as a journal or an art sketchbook. Then you have something like this Rhodia, which is a blank pad, which is perforated at the top, so you could write, sketch, draw, make lists, and then be able to remove the pages as you go along. Then you have something a little bit more long form, so you have this Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal. Comes with all the instructions on how to keep a bullet journal and has the structure to be able to keep a bullet journal. So this is more of like a year-long sort of thing that you could keep a planner and fully journal with something like this. Then you have an Oasis notebook, which is great quality Japanese paper, has a unique format, which is lined and dotted, kind of like half grid, half dotted, half lined. Which also has date headers at the very top. It has little separations here at the bottom where you'd be able to tick mark where the halfway point and the thirds and the quarters of the page are. Such a great variety of different types of notebooks. There's also notebooks, Clairefontaine has a French ruled notebook, which is great for handwriting practice. And the great thing about these notebooks too is that even though, like, yeah, some of them are a little bit on the pricier side, this one I know goes for over 20 bucks, but they start at $3.50 for a small notebook. So if you go looking on the website, you could find a great quality small notebook just to start off, or just to even put as a stocking stuffer kind of gift and add to, like, let's say a purchase of a fountain pen. So if you want to experience what that is to write with a nice fountain pen, good quality ink, and a solid paper at the same time, that's the perfect thing to get as a nice complement to your gift. put in a little bit of a little Rhodia pad or a little Clairefontaine pad, a little notebook, to be able to show just what great quality paper is capable of doing to the writing experience. All right, so now we're going to be stepping up to the intermediate level. First thing I'll mention is the Noodler's Konrad Acrylic Flex Nib Fountain Pen. Now, flexible writing provides line variation for pointed pen calligraphy or general flourishing handwriting like Spencerian or copperplate. So how it does it is that this particular special nib is engineered, it's built so that it will actually spread the tines when you put pressure on the nib. And the reason why it goes into the intermediate level of gifts is because you kind of have to know what you're doing to start off with in order to write with a flex nib. And this is a great introduction for somebody who also has a little bit knowledge about fountain pens to begin with. So if you've had a few fountain pens, if you're kind of familiar with how the nib and feed setup works, this is a good pen because some Noodler's pens like this Konrad need just a little bit of massaging to get working exactly how you want them to work. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you would need to like heat set them or kind of adjust the way that the nib and feed sit together in order to get it to work as you would with like a nice flow to the writing, and when you're flexing that it's not going to starve or railroad. So it does require just a little bit more knowledge than just a basic understanding of, you know, I put a pen to paper and it writes, especially if you want to get that flex going there and you want to get those nice flexible lines with the thin and thick variations on there. And usually the Konrads will start at $20. However, this acrylic model and all the other acrylic models we have, they are $40. And I would usually opt for the acrylic model because the ones that are $20, they're usually made out of this kind of Bakelite sort of material that has a little bit of an odor to it. The acrylics don't have that smell, so that's why I recommend that. They also look a little bit nicer too, so that's why I would recommend the $40 Noodler's Konrads as your great little starter flex nib fountain pen. So what we were mentioning before with the flex nib pen is that is great for the Spencerian or copperplate type handwriting styles. These are great for black letter Gothic, Roman, Uncial, ones that require a broad flat edge. Very traditional type of calligraphy work that you'd have here, and they come in the 4 different sizes so that you could go as low as 1.5 millimeter all the way up to a big and beefy 6 millimeter with the blue one. They include a couple cartridges here. These are Pilot proprietary ink cartridges, same that you saw with the Pilot Metropolitan. They do not include a Con 40 converter or Con 20 converter, so you'd have to purchase a converter separately if you wanted to fill with bottled ink, or you could just refill the cartridges with a blunt needle syringe. These pens are only $10 each, or you could buy them in a set of 4, which I highly recommend because then you would get the full range of nibs for $24.95 on goldspot.com. So great gift for the aspiring calligrapher, somebody who wants to, let's say, improve their calligraphy style or to practice. Reason why they include 2 ink cartridges here and that you would get them in a set of 4 is that actually if you touch the tips together, when you have 2 different color cartridges in them, you can actually blend the colors, which is a pretty cool feature. And even describes this on the boxes, how you can actually create the gradient effect using a couple of different Pilot parallel pens and a couple of different ink colors as well. So that's your Pilot parallel set, 4 pens of italic nib calligraphy pens. And if you're looking for something a little bit more accessible to write with every day, I would suggest the Kaweco Sport with a calligraphy nib. This has an incredibly portable size. This is a great pen actually if you're into pocket pens and you're looking for a starter or a beginner type of pen. However, what's different about this is that they have the calligraphy style nib already installed in them. This is a number 5 size nib available in sizes that range from 1.1 millimeter to 2.3 millimeters, and even a crazy shadow nib as well, which is really cool. So unlike the Pilot Parallel, this actually starts off at a 1.1 millimeter nib. So it's actually a little bit more accessible to use as an everyday writing pen, to journal with it and everything, because it has a little bit smaller of a tip size. It's not going to overload your paper with ink, but yet it'll add just enough flair for your everyday handwriting. And even though that these pens use an international style cartridge to start with, you could actually then convert this pen into an eyedropper fill. So you can actually drop ink directly into the barrel of a Kaweco Sport. What you would do is then silicone grease the section threads here and then put the whole entire pen back together, and there you would have a pen that's got a ton of ink in it. That way you're ready to rock and roll with a nice calligraphy style nib. And for 32 bucks, really can't go wrong with such a simple classic type pen. You could even customize it with a clip, or you could get what they have, a Kaweco Sport converter. If you're kind of nervous about doing the whole eyedropper thing, there is a pull converter that you could purchase additionally with this pen that would then be able to use bottled ink. And for the advanced pen connoisseur, we have the Pineider pen filler inkwell. And this inkwell is a perfect accessory. I know folks who have multiple inkwells to keep various colors of ink in because it's great. It's portable. It's very compact. It holds 10 milliliters worth of ink. And the neat feature of it is when you unscrew the cap here, you could actually fit in a variety of different pens, and I'll show you how. You could fit in your pen into this clasp that's here. So that way it would be nice and tight, and you could then fill it directly into the inkwell that's here. So it wouldn't be something where you're trying to fiddle around with it and then you would get ink all over the place. This nice secure sort of inner ring mechanism that they have here, which actually this ring tightens it further, so you could loosen or tighten the whole apparatus that's here, would allow you to put various types of size pens in there. They even have a little diagram that's here to see, like, is your pen big enough or is it small enough to be able to use this Pineider pen filler, but it adapts to using a majority of fountain pens in various different diameters. And it also includes as well a little pipette to fill your Pineider pen filler and a little instruction booklet as well. So this is a great accessory. Like I said, you know, for people who have virtually anything, you know, where they buy any of the pens that they see online or anything that they come across, they'll buy. But chances are they probably haven't checked this out, or if they have, then they could always use another one that's thrown in their stocking stuffer to fill with a different bottle of ink, maybe Bay State Blue. So for 20 bucks, $19.95, great accessory for the fountain pen connoisseur, Pineider pen filler inkwell. And for an inkwell that doubles as a beautiful piece of desk art, we have the TWSBI Diamond 50 inkwell. And it works best with TWSBI pens because it does have an adapter that's on top here that would fit with the 580 model. However, it's perfectly usable with all other fountain pens because you would then be able to open up the top ring part here and then access, there's a little cup that's on the inside here. And this inner reservoir works geniusly to be able to get all of the ink that's at the bottom here. So if it's halfway full, you would then put the cap on, you would turn the inkwell upside down, let the inner reservoir fill up, then you would unscrew the cap and the ring and then be able to put your nib into the bottle of ink and then fill up from inside the reservoir, as opposed to trying to fiddle the pen to try to get the little last bit of ink that's in there. So and then on top of that, this is just such a nice solid feel. This glass is all faceted here, so whatever ink that's inside here is going to look beautiful on your desk. And for 25 bucks, I mean, how could you go wrong? It's half of your budget here, under $50, is in this beautiful inkwell. You buy a bottle of ink to go along with it, done deal. Perfect gift for somebody who has it all, because they'll always want more ink and they'll always want more things to store them in. And then speaking of storage, we have these Laban Pen Cases. So any pen connoisseur needs a way to kind of manage the herd and be able to, like, also keep them as well, and keep them protected, keep them from getting knocked around in a bag or being lost, unfortunately. But these cases do a great job of being able to protect your pens and carry them with you in style too. So they look really nice. These are made out of a synthetic leather look material, and they come in a wide variety of different colors and different sizes. So we have the single pen case. They are magnetically flapped. So you see here, the little closure at the end of it here. It's got a nice, like, little felt, not very plush, but still has like a felt material on the inside there. You know, it's not going to mark up the pen. This is a double pen case. The double pen case has like a little bit of a divider in between there too. This is the marble finish, which looks pretty cool. It's very on trend. Then you have the black 3-pen case, which has 2 dividers that's on the inside here. Holds most usual type size pens. I'll throw the Noodler's pen that's in here. It's got plenty of room. And it starts at $14 for the single size. So not going to hurt your budget to buy one of these pens, and also combine it then with one of the starter pens to kind of give an overall solution to, let's say, somebody who's going to school or going to work and wants to protect their new writing instrument. Get them a nice little pen case to go along with it. It's a beautiful solution for somebody who also has a tons of pens and doesn't know how to carry them all. So Laban Pen Case, great little addition. And undoubtedly, as you've seen this whole entire video, these pens have been hanging out on pen stands. These are great little desk accessories here to display your pens, and you have them at a wide range of different cool styles and different price ranges too. So you have the little crab that's here, and that is $7.95 to start with, and then you have up to the Happy Buddha here, which is made by Jack Zaguri. It's made out of pewter, so it definitely has a nice solid feel, has a little felt bottom there so it's not going to mark up your desk. And these will hold a majority of different types of pens here. And then you have something like this with this Pelican ceramic pen rest here, and that will hold virtually anything as well. So it gives you a little bit of that fun and introduces a little bit of art to your desk, and something that I don't think that any pen enthusiasts would necessarily think of to get for themselves, but it's something great that you could buy as like a little gift that would go perfectly with their collection. You can find links to all the pens and accessories we mentioned in the description below. If you have a great fine writing gift idea under $50 that I missed, put it in the comments. I would love to read all of your thoughtful suggestions. Thank you for checking out this under $50 gift guide video. If you'd like to see future installments, hit the subscribe button to stay informed about all of the latest and greatest in writing instruments. Stay inky, my friends. Take care.